Hi, this is Hoppi VR episode number 2. In this episode, I'm going to be upgrading, cleaning, and fixing any problems on the top section and reattaching it to the bottom section. In the previous episode, I fixed up the bottom section, cleaned it up, and got most of the software working directly on the Orange Pi and updated it. In this episode, I'm going to be cleaning this section up, simplifying a lot of that. There's 3 Arduinos here and this controller here I want to be very similar to what Paimon's got. In order to do that, I'm going to have to take all of this apart. Then I'm going to fix up any issues that I find along the way. I'm cleaning it up and taking it apart. That's what I'm doing now. Okay, so there's the head and all the cabling. So the main complication here is I'm running everything through these amp meters, and I never ended up actually using them, so I'm not going to include them in the next build. So that's that whole section. So those are the 2 Arduinos with the shields I made. Yeah, I actually made real shields for them. Now that I've got everything apart, I want to concentrate on the power. I want to take these 2 power supplies off and just confirm this is a variable one and then this is a set one. I just want to confirm that I'm getting power from both of those and test them and what the power is. Here is those 2 power supplies of Hoppi, and here's the new 5V power supply I got. This is a servo controller, same thing I got on Paimon. And this is STM32. It's a less powerful one than I've got on Paimon, but it should still work. Then I plug. So this is the variable power supply. So that's saying 8.7 volts. Okay, so that seems to be working. Then this is the next one. I think this is 6 volts. Yeah, so that's 6 volts and then this is 5 volts. The next thing I'd like to do is a bit of a cleanup. Here's the Orange Pi that I was using. The main problem it's got is this cable's quite stiff and I'm not too keen on it, so I might go back to the old Orange Pi. So this is the board in the center, the second board up, and then all of these components fit quite well in, which is basically what I need to test that, set up a development environment. This is what Paimon used to run off, and this is, I just need to test everything first. So this is the same as that, it's got the same, I reloaded both of these, so they're set up exactly the same. This is going in the robot, this will be my test environment. So next what I need to do, I've tested all of this already, this all powers on. I've got to now write the code for this to talk to the servos. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to write and just do a simple check, plug something in, does the servo turn? Yeah, good. Next I'm going to write the SPI code from here to there to talk to the blue pill and add on to my little text-based UI and control the servers, and then check if that works. I've loaded some code on here, and I'm going to start this up for the first time. Who knows if it's going to work? Anyway, let me try connect this up and see what it does. I've got no idea if this is going to work now. Okay, so this isn't connected. Okay, so something's already going wrong. I need to probably debug it. And this is where a screen would be useful. I went through a bit of coding and I think I found the bug. I'm just going to try it now. This is moving. I've added SPI code here, and I've got the code, when it connects it should show me on the screen if it's connected. Then I've updated the Hoppi code, which is on here, I've added a servo menu, and it should be automatically connecting to it. Right now, all I want to do is to check if it connects properly and see if that works. Okay, so first thing, the servo shouldn't be doing anything. I should probably use I don't want that servo doing anything. And the servo's got issues anyway. So all I want to know is the thing connected? So let's see what it says right now. Servo is started. It's giving me a version. Let me just show you what it's seeing. So it's basically, that's what it's showing right now. I think I've got it working now. I'm just going to put more servers on it. So I'm supposed to have 12 servers, but obviously I'm just checking if this thing works. Screen. That's just for my purposes. Okay, so far so good. That moved to some sort of default position. This is the app that's running on the Orange Pi. This is just so I can see what's going on, and it's just a text-based app just for testing. So the motor controller is part 1 of Hoppi, and I'm going to 2. So as you can see, Servo Light, which is well, I'm calling that Servo Light because it's controlling all the servos plus the lights. I don't have the light connected right now. And this is what I've got so far. Time is 1000 by default, and that's in milliseconds. So obviously 2000 is 2 seconds. And then that's the angle that I want it to go. So if I change these to all different angles, then what it should do is, well, I need to update one at a time. Yes. I think I fixed the problem. We're going to try again. So that's connected, no errors, and I've got a connection true, so I fixed that one. So that's good. so these servers are actually run up. So what it's doing here is that's the time taken to move, and so if I set it to 2 on both, and then this is just the angle I want it to be at. So if I then change the angles, when I update it only updates one server, but it does have the ability to update more than one server at a time. This is just for testing. I finished testing all the 8-volt servos and I got all their min and max values. Next I'm going to continue with the 6-volt servos, which are all the ARM servos. The next thing I want to test is the head. This should be a simple test. It's just the 2 5-volt servos. I've designed the board that I'm going to be using for the STM, Orange Pi and everything else, and I'm going to start soldering. I started off by doing this, and I've got this little connector board which goes like that, so this board will go down slightly, well actually that will go up, and it fits in there, so it connects this to there. The problem I had is then I worked out that this is too small, so I made a larger board and then I started carrying on soldering it. Now what I still need to do is wire this up from the bottom. I haven't connected anything up. This is my progress so far. I've wired up all of these like that. I still need to do the power from most of these. These ones do have the power connected up, but I need the power coming off to a power rail, and here it's the same story. I need them going to a power rail, and here I haven't connected the power up to the actual plug yet. This is a bit of an update to the soldering. So I've added all the data lines to everything. I think I've finished all the soldering now. That's what it's currently looking at like. So I've got to start testing this and seeing if there's any problems. Okay, so we get both lights going on, and I should be getting an LED down there when the orange Pi switches on. Okay, LED going on. Server light connected. Okay, cool. So I'm currently can see the server from here. So now I know this board is working and the 3-volt line is working. Next I want to test the 5-volt line. So I'm going to add in the 5-volt line, and I'm going to add in the servo controller with one 5-volt servo. And now I'm going to turn it on and see what happens. Okay, cool. I'm getting a light there, I'm getting a light there. That's a good start. And then I want to see a light there. Okay, I'm getting a light on the Orange Pi. Let's put a... So this is still like the crappy servo. this thing did shake a bit, so I'm not too worried about stuff like that. All I want is it turns, that's it. Screen bigger. Okay, that's a good start. Yay, and so what that means is the I2C is working, the servo controller is working, and all the 5-volt lines and all the 3-volt lines are working. Okay, the next test is putting these in and then testing the servos. I think I'm going to do everything at the same time. I'm going to put the 6 volts and the 8 volts in at the same time. Turning on. Okay, I already had that on. So the light's coming on here. So everything should be connected. Okay, so lights coming on Hoppi. Okay, I heard servos moving. That's a good start. Okay, so the 8-volt servo is working. There we go. Working like a charm. So now I've tested that one over there. Okay, I'm happy. That's cute. Successful test. I'm going to take this bottom board off, just so I can cut this board exactly the same size as that board. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to find a plank the same height. Jeez, that's very close. Yeah, so I'm just going to use this one. Okay, so good. This is finished gluing. So that would sit over there, connecting that and that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw, well, what I also want to do is screw these on. This is the new board, that's the old board, so where this is going to sit on top of. Now the problem is, previously I had these over here, which directed the cables over the arms, and then so all the servo cables. Now there's no more space for that, since this takes up the whole board. I also have a small problem where the audio cable needs space, so that's the audio cable over there, and the jack needs to fit in there without hooking on the side here. So this circle comes slightly above here. If I move it back enough, it should be fine, or if I move it high enough, or both. So I need to take that into account as well. So the other thing, these 4 blocks, no one's fell off, was holding the other platform up. Now those blocks are obviously in the way. So I'm going to have to come up with a different solution. So if I put these spacers on, these are the shortest brass spacers I've got. Ignore the screws, they're just holding them there easily. And then this does still fit, this section which is the highest does still fit under here. I've marked off the positions for the holes here as good as I could. I've drilled a few holes in here for all the spots where it's going to be held down. This 2.5 mil, so this fits in perfectly. So I can, if I need to thread it in, I can. And if I need to just have the bolt go through, I can just drill a 3 mil hole there afterwards. I'm just going to paint this black for now because I'm waiting for a whole lot of pieces to 3D print. I'm also designing 3D print, so it's going to take a while. While I'm waiting for the other stuff to finish printing and paint drying and stuff, I'm going to carry on with these two boards. So the plan now is I'm going to start running some of the cables. So these are the 12 volt lines I've made. It's just a connector with 4 on it, all connected together. And that's the red and the black. And so I'm going to take all of these off, those two off. Well, that one's probably going to stay. This one's going to come off, and they're going to sit probably like that. And then they're going to connect in with that one over there. This is the 2 boards screwed in here onto the painted blackboard. I've 3D printed these 2 parts. They sit in here. And I've just filed that down so the audio plug can fit in there, and then this part sits over there, and those are sitting in holes. Yep, so it sits like that. Then this part comes over here. It's like that, and this part comes over here and goes in there. Then I've got a little piece. Yeah, this one goes there. So these are all 3D printed parts, obviously. This one goes here. This part goes on top here. And then this part, which I've just finished printing now, sits over here. And then I'm going to have 2 wooden blocks, one over here, and one over here. Then that's all exactly the same height, so that allows me to then put this board, which I've just cut. So this board's going to replace this board over here, and it just needs to unscrew this and then put it on here. I've printed another one of these, and this time it's flat. So that's that one that goes in there. So now in theory everything should be good. So next I'm going to start making these wires that go in there and then start gluing them together. So I've cleaned up a bit. I'm going to be using gloves for this, just because I'm probably going to be wiping the glue in using my hands. That's glued. It didn't glue perfectly, but whatever. It just needs to sort of work. And then I painted this board that's going to sit on top here. One of the blocks sit there, and then the other block sits there. And then it sits there. I'm going to screw and glue these blocks in at the bottom, and then I'm going to screw the blocks in at the top. And the head's in the front here, so that shouldn't be too much of a mission to get apart there. And then I can access these pins and access everything else without too much of an issue. Yeah, I need to just double check that the board fits in, that I haven't done something stupid. And then if that all works, then I'm going to just give this a quick spray paint. So here's this after being painted. And start screwing everything in. The other thing I need to do is take this off, this board off, and then I'm not using everything from the head. So I'm going to be using the camera. This cables for the LEDs I'm not using. The power I'm not using. And the servo is the only thing. So the servo, so there's quite a few cables I'm just not using yet. That's the way that sits in there. So these cables then wrap around these two sections here, and that's how I get them out of the way. And then they plug in the front. So this is probably on that side. But that's, you see that? Just so yeah. So that's how that sits on there. So that's everything on the new. So this is nice, like I said, this is nice and empty now. I've cleaned the table up a little bit, just it was getting way too messy. And I've moved the torso section off that, just so I can work on it easily. I've also taken the head off. So this gives me good access to the whole section. Now what I want to do is I want to do the power cabling. So then I'm just missing the 5 volts. The 5 volt is yellow. So I've soldered that together. Let's see if it works. So I've replaced this one with a yellow one. These ones I'm going to keep orange up to this point. I'm going to make a little thing where this moves over, so then the power is separate from the data cable, so another little groove here, and then it joins up here with these cables and then goes down there. I've done a whole lot of soldering. So this connects to, I've extended this cable, connects to that, connects to that. So this cable will come down here, and then this just joins back up to that, and then this one joins up to that one. So they sit like over there somewhere. I've done a really minor test. I've just stuck 5 volts in here and this comes on. What I want to do now is I just want to put some tape over here to ensure that these cables go down flat. So when I put this thing on, I don't have problems with it. So I'm going to put 12 volts there, keep this disconnected, keep this disconnected, so the orange pi, and then power it up and everything else goes fine. I'm also just, before I do that, I just want to go over the cables once again and double check that everything's where it should be. I've done that check and that all looks good. So what I'm going to do now is connect these up together, and then I'm going to put 12 volts in there. I'm just screwing in these so long. The reason why is I've got the cables connected and I don't want the whole thing to fall apart. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to confirm where the hell the screw is going at the back without messing everything up. I'll just lift it back. I've put a wire exactly where the hole is. Okay, so I need to disconnect this. Yeah, so that's where my dumb mistake is. I put a groove right where a screw hole is meant to be. And obviously if I put the cables through there, that's not going to work. I've plugged that in there, and that's on 12 volts. Switch this on, 11, so that's going on, and that's going on. That looks like it's working. The next job is putting the 2 arms back on and then wiring up all the servos. I've got the power supply on this side to run 12 volts into there, and I've got a network cable plugged into that. So the plan is then to move these servos to the correct position, these ones over here that move the arm like that, and then connect the arms on. So switch it on there. 12 volts, and switch it on here, and okay, so I'm getting something going through there. I will now go log on and see if I can see something. Yeah, so I'm just going to point it at the server here and then see if it's doing something. I'm connected to server 1. Okay, I don't know if that moved or not. I'll obviously be able to see on the video. I'm having a problem where the servos aren't moving. The orange Pi can see the STM32. In other words, this thing can talk to that thing. When I send data down, I'm not getting anything. It's not doing anything. None of them are moving. I've done a bit of further testing. I've removed the 8 and the 6 volt lines and just basically trying to move the servos, and nothing is still working. Next I'm going to take this board off and then just check if maybe something's bent underneath or something like that. I recently added the black and the white cable. That's the thing that's powering the STM32, and below that is a resistor and connected to a main line, and then there's a main line above it. Now those two main lines are data cables, and there's a little bit of solder connecting them together. That definitely shouldn't be there. So I'm going to get rid of that and see how that affects everything. So I'm still having problems with the board. I'm busy taking it apart so I can look at it again. This time I'm going to just do another continuity check. I've taken the controller off and I'm just testing that separately with the Arduino, and that's still working. I've tested that this still works. I put a piece of tape over the lines, the power, ground and voltage lines on this side. I'm going to do an update to this just to give me more debug loads. And I've just gone over and checked continuity. And right now I've only got the 5 volt and the 3 volt lines connected. And I'm going to switch it on and see what happens. Okay, so that's servo. I heard servo starting initializing from both when I switched it on. Okay, again, I've heard initializations. So that's UI is looking a little bit better now. I'm just going to test if that works there. Okay, so that bug's fixed now. And 32. Okay, these are these old. Okay, so that's working again. I've added these two high voltage lines, and then what I'm going to do is connect it up the same way as I had it last time. Okay, starting Hoppi up. It should be connected now to. Should be these two. Okay. So, I'm hearing stuff move. I've got this now connected back onto Hoppi. I've also connected the power back to where it originally was, so that's right at the back there. And I've connected all the power cables up. Now what I need to do is put the arms back on. I've attached this arm on and I've connected the servos up, so the 3 servos, and I've done nothing else. Okay, so first thing I can say is this arm is set at the wrong default position. I've lost connection. So whenever I get these little voltage spikes, I lose connection to Hoppi. So I don't have any of the cables connected, but the arm is now connected on the other arm. I'm going to switch it on. Nothing should go wrong at this point. So I've got nothing connected. And I'm going to go through the same process. I'm going to attach each servo one by one. Same story, I'm doing the head now. I haven't attached this board isn't attached on, it's just sitting lying on the top, and I haven't attached the servos. I'm going to switch it on and then connect each servo and see what happens. I've made a cable. I think I got it the right way around. I'm going to switch it on and see if it connects to the motor controller. Okay, I don't know why the head's pointing up there. There's already like a what? I haven't started, I haven't connected, I haven't done anything. And the head's got a default there. Okay, so the defaults are supposed to be there. That must be some sort of default on the... Yeah, I'll have to go look at that. Okay, first of all, is my program still working? Let's just update the head. Okay, so I've still got a connection to it. Okay, cool. I'm not going to worry about it. So motor controller... So I haven't touched this motor controller since the last it says it's not connected. Maybe I got the cable the wrong way. It's an orange Pi that connects. So what I'm going to do is swap the cable around here. Let's see if that fixes the problem. No, well the encoders are working because otherwise it wouldn't have been stopping and starting. I'm just using the encoders to... Okay, so that's working. I've got Hoppi running off the Wi-Fi and also off 2 batteries. I've got everything connected up. I've connected these screws up and it's right now connected to the application. Okay, so this is just showing that everything works. Okay, it is. Okay, this is the... Okay, first I'm going to... Okay, no, that's... a little bit. lost connection to one of the cables there. Okay, then if I just go back to the motor controller, and then okay, obviously I'm not controlling it with controls now. This is basically all done by the test screen. So in the next video I'm going to get the network connected, and I'm going to make some foot pedals and get the controlling of the bottom working properly. While I was working on making this video, a bird flew into the garage and I managed to take a video of it. So this is going to be a little bit of a bonus, and here's the video. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and goodbye.